There you go. I bet this will work a little better. Sorry about that. I was using the wrong microphone. So you probably missed all the conversation that we had about Lent. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, anyway, we got the right microphone working now. Now we can talk, and now you can hear. I was talking before. Obviously, you could see my lips moving. You just couldn't hear what I was saying. It's Tuesday, and we had a lot of stuff that went on this past week. So we thought we'd give you a recap of all the things and the stuff that we did over the course of the last few days. Read me lips. No new taxes. And of course, it wouldn't be a week if we didn't go to Shadrack's at least once. Although lately it seems like our average is coming closer to almost once a day. We've been yeah, twice on Saturdays. It's been a lot lately. So yeah, we're definitely making good use of that VIP card for sure. Uh, I had to drive right past it. I drove past 3 Shadracks before I stopped today. Technically 4. I should get a little credit for holding out until 10 o'clock in the morning. So what you didn't hear there was something about Jersey making a comment in the background about we didn't go to Shadrack's today, to which I was thinking in my head, and it was showing on my face. No, we didn't. So yeah, yes, I did go to Shadrack's today. No, I didn't bring home a Reviver for you. I didn't get Shadrack's until I got to Jonesboro today. I drove. Well, I take it back. I did not drive past the Kings Highway Shadrack's this morning, but I did drive past the Linwood Drive Shadrack's this morning, and I drove past the Hilltop Shadrack's this morning. Well, no, technically I didn't. I was close, but I didn't quite go past it. Well, it might not have made it home for the trip after work. I was kind of thirsty on the way home, and I had nothing in the car to drink. It might have, at least most of it. Anyway, so yes, we did go to Shadrack's again a lot last week. We also went to visit Dr. Webb at Paragold Smile Doctor. And by the way, they have a red ribbon cutting for their new location hosted by the Paragold Regional Chamber of Commerce coming up in the very near future. Tuesday night, excuse me. I have just got like a persistent tickle in my throat tonight. I don't know what the deal is. Tuesday night, if you were here for the last Tuesday night stream, in addition to talking about the regular stuff that we do on Tuesday night, drink my tea with honey. I'm working on it. I am drinking my tea with honey. Last last Tuesday night, in addition to the normal recap of what we did over the course of the past week, we had a special guest on, and I got to spend, what did we do? Spend about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours talking to Dan Stidham, talking about his book, A Harvest of Innocence. So we sat and visited and let him talk and for a while, tell his story, and we asked him a few questions, and it was a really great time. If you didn't see it, yeah, you should go check that out. It was a really really good good episode, good show to watch. And then I think this was last Thursday, it's Wednesday or Thursday, I don't remember which day. One of these days last week, I was out running around, running errands, and had to stop by. I had to find some place to eat lunch, so I stopped by Iron Horse Barbecue and Steakhouse for lunch. It's been a while since I've been there, and since my boss told me that lunch was on him that day, I had a half a rack of ribs. Seemed like a good idea, didn't it? I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I could eat ribs almost every day. Now, I'm very I'm very hesitant to show you this next slide. Um, I try to share all the things that we that I do or that we do together. I try to share all those things with you and tell you about all the ways that we have opportunities to interact with local businesses on a on a weekly basis and trying to support those local businesses. But I'm very hesitant to show you this next slide. But there was this place that I went. Um, I think it was Wednesday. I couldn't do it Monday, and I didn't get to do it Tuesday. So I think it was Wednesday that I went by. I swung by Juniper Tree Meadery. I swung by Juniper Tree Meadery. Oh, by the way, Jersey, don't make any plans for Saturday night because I have us reservations on Saturday night at 6 o'clock to go to Juniper Tree Meadery for some mead and comedy and a charcuterie board. So happy early / late Valentine's Day. Yeah. Right. Well, I was thinking it's like, you're learning about it early, but it actually you won't get it until late. So it's, and you got your book 2 weeks ago. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, this is I stopped by and I made a reservation for us for the 6 o'clock comedy show on Saturday. I figured that would work out better than the one on Wednesday night because that would be less busy for us. We can be more leisurely about our time. So yes, so you guys got to be here for the surprise. I was going to ask her to turn her camera on so you could get to see her reaction when she found out along with you, but and I didn't really know a good way to be able to do that. Say, hey, why don't you turn your camera on and join me? I couldn't think of a really good excuse to do that and make it not sound suspicious from the get go. So we just didn't. And here is the second picture of Shadrack's. By the way, tomorrow is BOGO on the Rad. Is it BOGO on the Rad Shaddy energy drinks tomorrow, I believe? If I remember correctly. It's BOGO on something. I don't want to say it's the energy drinks. Buy one, get one half off on the energy drinks? On the Rad Shaddies. Okay. I knew it was something like that. Always, anytime I tell you something, kind of like double check with the Facebook page just to make sure that I got all the details right. Don't take my word for it. I try to be as accurate as possible, but there always is a possibility that I could have got something wrong. What's that? Yes. So, yeah, there are two pictures of Shadrax in this slide because we visited both the Jonesboro and the Paragould locations, and since those are, I mean, they're all Shadrax, but the ones in Paragould are actually a franchise. I want to make sure that Paragould gets recognition for when we go to Paragould, and then Shadrax and Jonesboro gets recognition when we go to Shadrax and Jonesboro, because technically those are two separate businesses. And on Thursday, it was Thursday that I went to Food Dudes and had grabbed a breakfast burrito at Food Dudes. I was out and about running around, and I did a lot of running around this week. I was all over the place this past week. Yeah, for work. I was driving all over the place this past week. Um, and then Thursday night, nobody felt like cooking. So we let Carlos Cantina and Grill cook for us again this week. Yeah, it was 2 weeks in a row that we had Carlos's, and I don't regret it because it was delicious the second time as well. If you haven't been by the new location, it's definitely worth checking out. They're doing a fantastic job. Honestly, opening has been a lot smoother than what I anticipated. Uh, and that's not a dig. That is definitely a high compliment because I always expect things to go not so super smoothly when you first open a restaurant, but they've done a great job, and honestly have done. They're just amazing. So yeah, go out, support local, and check out some of the great food you can get from Carlos's Cantina and Grill. This Saturday we went down to the ASU Regional Farmers Market, or they call it the Red Hill Judd Hill Farmers Market. Yeah, we went down there Saturday. Um, Nice thing about this farmers market is it doesn't start at the crack of dawn like your normal summer markets do. Instead of starting it ridiculously early, it didn't actually open until 10 o'clock. So I was able to be a little more leisurely about getting down to the farmers market on Saturday, and wandering around and looked there, and there were some great people there. Got to meet and talk to several people. The biggest reason why we went down there is because I knew that Alhambra Orchard and Apiary was going to be there, and I needed to get some honey. If you were here for the DJ Taint Wednesday night live stream with Jake Lung, you would have seen that I promised Jake I'd get him some honey. So we needed some honey for us here in the house, and I also needed to pick up some honey to give to Jake. So got that taken care of on Saturday. Went and visited Alhambra and got some honey. Visited with them for a while. Got to kind of catch up with them a little bit because it's been a couple months since we've seen them. I don't think I've talked to them since right before Christmas when I picked up some Christmas gifts from them. And we also stopped and said hi to Log Cabin Bakery and Farms, or Bakery and Farm. They do they've kind of expanded out a little bit. And they're getting into the freeze dried candy, but they also make delicious homemade baked goods. And we go there a lot because she does a lot of really great gluten free baked goods. So we visit her several times, and looking forward to talk to her for a little bit. Found out she's going to be at the Pine Log Market in Brooklyn in April, and so looking forward to seeing her there as well. While we were there, so most of the places were inside, because there's, if you're familiar with the farmers market there in Jonesboro, there's two buildings. There's an open air building, and then right next to it is an enclosed building, which is brand new for this past season. So most everybody was in the enclosed building, better climate control in the wintertime and things like that. But there were a few people that were outside in the open air part because, as one guy I was talking to said, he's like, you got to kind of be out here if you've got to back a trailer up. So Sunshine Farms was out there, and they have premium quality Angus beef, and I picked up some. They had 4 different varieties of beef sticks there, so I got 4 of their different beef sticks and sampled those over the past couple of days while I was at work. Made for really good snacks. And then we walked across the aisle from there, and we went to Big Creek Family Farms, where we picked up some brats and some pork steaks. And we had some of the brats last night, finished up the rest of the brats tonight, and pork steaks are on the menu for Valentine's Day. So that's what we're looking forward to. I really enjoyed that and enjoyed those brats. This is not the first time I've had their brats. Their brats are really delicious. They do a great job on those. So I really enjoyed those and looking forward to those pork steaks tomorrow as well. After we left the farmer's market, we went up to back to Paragould, went to Hyde Park Cafe for lunch, had lunch there, stopped and visited for a little while, and did that while we were on our way right before we went over to Weber's Bookhouse, because there was at Weber's Bookhouse on Saturday, there was a book signing. Dan Stidham was there with, again, for the 3rd time. This one? Oh. But, oh, yeah, I have that one too. Geez, I haven't made it that far in the slide deck. Yeah, so Dan Stidham had another book signing at Weber's Bookhouse this past Saturday, and I got to go stand in line because I had not yet got a copy of his book. So I went and got a book, and then I stood in line. I probably stood in line for 45 minutes or so, waiting to get inside so that he could actually sign the book for me. While I was doing that, Steel and Stitches was taking advantage of the opportunity. She purchased some more yarn from Unraveled. I know that's going to sound like a shocker to everybody. And then she kind of sat down over in the knitting corner and worked on some. You don't call it the knitting corner, the crochet corner. What do you call that area that you sat down in?
Well,
The Fiberworks area.
the original area is for people to bring books or to
Yeah.
Fiber Arts.
So she started out on the book side, and then moved from there over to the yarn side of the stitching area with the rest of the people that are coming in there to work on that area. So they're Fiber Arts. Yeah, it was stitching night or stitching day, or it wasn't really nighttime though. It was like 3:30 in the afternoon. But yeah, she did that and worked on a couple of dice bag of holdings while I was standing in line. By the way, I'm really glad that line wasn't any longer than it was, because when I first got out there, I was standing right on the corner of the building, and the wind was coming straight down 2nd Street. And it made kind of chilly standing there because I didn't think to bring a jacket because it seemed like a nice day, unless you're standing out in the wind. But fortunately, I only had to stand there for a few minutes before I was able to actually take a step in front of the building and then let the building block the wind from me. So I didn't have to, and it wasn't super bad outside once you were out of the direct line of the wind. And then did get a chance to get a book signed with Dan and got my picture taken with him as well. And I appreciate him for coming on last week and talking with us. That was great. I enjoyed that immensely, and glad I finally got actually a chance to actually meet him in person. And we talked a little bit more and got a picture taken and had a great time. So I do appreciate that. That was great. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend you grab a copy and give it a read. If you like listening to audiobooks, go ahead and grab this book and read it. The audiobook is coming, but it's going to be a little while before that gets done. So you might want to go ahead and grab the physical copy and read it first. Later Saturday night, I snuck off to LA Nights here in Paragould for a few minutes. didn't stay long. I've been letting Hayden do a lot of the heavy lifting there for me lately, and but I stopped in for a minute just to check on things, see how things were going, and say hi to the guys in Southwind Drive. This week they had a special guest drummer. Joe Bateman was sitting in on the drums this week, so that was kind of fun to see. Get to watch him. I've seen him play drums a little bit. He said this is the first time in he doesn't remember how long he actually sat, and he did an entire set on the drums. So yeah, instead of just Wipeout, yeah, he instead of just doing one song, he was doing it all. So. Well, I mean, but to be fair, the amount of drumming that you do in Wipeout, that's like the equivalent to 3 or 4 regular songs. And then Sunday afternoon, Super Bowl Sunday, we were very cordially invited to spend the afternoon and the evening with the Smoking Skulls down at the Harmony Gardens at the Ag for Autism Super Bowl party. So I am very, very humbled and very thankful that I was given the opportunity to attend that event with the Skulls. I appreciate that immensely. I'm honored that they thought to include us in that. I appreciate that so very, very much. I'm glad I was able to be there and attend the event. It was a great fundraiser. Got to see them enjoy their time. There was some great food. The food was catered by Blue Ember, and there were a lot of gifts there. There was a great silent auction. There were some other great giveaways and raffles and things. And it was a really great event. And I'm thankful that I was able to just be like just a very tiny piece of that. It's a really great night, and I really enjoyed it. And thank you to Ag for Autism for hosting it. Thank you to Harmony Gardens for providing a place for it, and especially thank you to the Smoking Skulls for giving us the invitation to join them there. So yeah, they got the Skulls. Ben got to get up and he got to give a short presentation talking about the derby that they had last spring, and then the one that they've got coming up this spring, with the proceeds for that derby going to support Ag for Autism. So I'm really looking forward to that too. I think it's going to be like the first part of June, I think. Yeah, they're looking for sponsors for that. We'll talk about some more about that on Thursday. But yeah, the Ag for Autism Demolition Derby hosted by the Smoking Skulls will be coming up this year. Give you something to kind of, put a pin in it. They're looking for drivers. They're looking for sponsors. So if you would like to be involved in that, go to the Smoking Skulls Facebook page and check them out. And Ben says, thank you all for going. Had a blast. We did have a blast, and it was such a great time. And thank you so much for inviting us. I appreciate that. I don't really have the words to say how much I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, but yeah, looking forward to that. The Ag for Autism Carnage with a Cause is the tagline for the Demolition Derby that's going to be taking place. And like I said, we'll talk some more about that on Thursday. Who knows? I might rope Ben into coming on our Thursday night stream one of these days and talk about it some more too. And since I know he's watching, I'll mention it now just to give him a chance to get nervous about it. And that was it. Today was Monday and I guess today's Tuesday, but yesterday was Monday and we had to go back to work and be adults. And that's just terrible. Being an adult is a highly overrated thing. Who wants to do that? But anyway, that was the thing. That was it. That was what we did. Those are the places and the people and the things that we got to do to interact and support local businesses in and around our community. So if you get a chance, get out and about, meet your local businesses. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was driving down the street And well, I was in Jonesboro, so you can't really drive down the sidewalk. That would require them to have sidewalks to drive down. But I was driving down and I was looking, and just like looking at the businesses on each side of the road, and and thinking about, we talk about small businesses, and yeah, a lot of the businesses that I talk about are food related, or I mean, I like food. I'm not gonna lie, I do. It's And if you check this out in the comments, you'll actually be able to click on this link. This is the link to the event for the Smoking Skulls Carnage for a Cause. That yeah, like you can't click on it in the video, but you will be able to click on it in the comments. So yeah, thank you, Ben, for posting that. But yeah, yeah. So I'm saying I like food, and so a lot of the businesses that I interact with are food based. And then there's but there are so many local businesses like.
Oh, you didn't mention that we went to Tiny Twig.
You're right, I didn't. I completely forgot about that. Apparently, for whatever reason, it did not. It didn't hit. What I do when I'm trying to figure out to remember all the places that we went is I go back and I look at my all the waypoints on Google Maps, and for whatever reason, Tiny Twig didn't. Yeah, it could be that, but I mean, I don't even remember seeing a waypoint where I stopped there. So, but yeah, we did stop one other place. Hang on just a second. I'll pull it up. There is this other place that we stopped. So this weekend was also the grand opening for the Tiny Twig, or I guess the grand reopening, I guess you could say. The Tiny Twig used to be in downtown Paragould. It actually used to be in the space right next to where Cultured Man is now. But they're not in that space anymore. But that's okay because they kind of needed a little more room than what they had. So they've moved, and this is a shot of their new location that they've got. They are down on, yes, they're down on 49, heading south out of on 49 headed south. On the opposite side of the street is Brickhaven, like right across the road from Brickhaven. So if you're interested in that, that will be you can go check them out there. We got this little succulent while we were there. That's right. I even potted it, so it might die. I've never claimed to be good at growing things. I have things in my house that don't die, but I'm not really going to take any credit for growing them. I have this cactus, and I have this cactus that was brought home from school, second or third grade, and my son, yeah, when my son was in, yeah, not my second or third grade, not quite that old, but yeah, when my son was in second or third grade, he brought this cactus home and put it in the windowsill in my kitchen windowsill, and it's been there ever since then, and it's still alive. And he graduated in 2020, and this thing is still alive. It's been there for gotta be 10 years, and this thing is still alive. And it's not because of anything I do, because I promise you that I don't take care of it. It gets watered randomly whenever I think about it. Oh, you brought it. So this is the cactus. This is this. So when it came into my house, it was just this piece right here.
Total stall.
This little stalk. This is all that was there when it came into my house. All of this fuzzy stuff is all growth that has occurred since it arrived, and it just I don't. I mean, it had 6 months where I couldn't even touch it. We were in the middle of having our kitchen. Our kitchen floor had a water damage, so we had to tear out the floor and have most of the kitchen rebuilt. So yeah, that was 6 months that it sat in the windowsill that nobody could even get to it. You couldn't get within arm's reach of it. So yeah, and this thing just refuses to die. It's just really weird. Anyway, I'm not really. Oh yeah, we were talking about Tiny Twig. That's how I got on that sidetrack. So, but anyway, yeah. So we did lots of exciting things. We got to see lots of business. But have you ever noticed as you're driving down the street, look at all those businesses that you go past. And yeah, you will find some chains. There are some chain businesses there, which a lot of chains that you see, like even like McDonald's and Burger King and stuff like that. Most of those are franchises, which means it's a local person who has bought permission to have a restaurant with this logo on it. But it's still a local guy or a local gal or a local couple that this is their business. But then you've got, you've got like, the insurance agents, and you've got, just the doctor's office, the dentist office, the lawyers. Yeah, the two dentists that are brothers. There's just all of these places that you start looking, and all of a sudden you see there are local businesses everywhere, and that's why any economist that's worth his salt will tell you that over 50% of the U.S. economy is small businesses, and it's that important. So every time you get a chance, shop local, engage with your local craftsmen, your local artisans, your local businesses, and you might be surprised when you start seeing all the places and all the people that and how it all connects and how it reinforces and it builds and it strengthens your community. So, all right, that's it for tonight. I'm going to stop, get off that soapbox for a little while. Anyway, you guys have a great week. Let me know what you guys got planned for the week. Come back and see us on Thursday night. We'll talk about what's coming up this weekend. Until then, have a great night. Happy Mardi Gras. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope your team won the Super Bowl. We'll see you on Thursday. Good night, everybody.